Warm welcome, you're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where I curate the day's top 7 stories for you. I'm Preeti Choudhry and these are the headlines. Bengaluru goes underwater after overnight rains. Classroom flooded, massive waterlogging and traffic snarls return. Water supply may be hit for parts of city for 2 full days. Rape accused Murugasya denied bail. Chitraguda court sends him to jail till 14 September. It's a first look of newly revamped Central Vista. Prime Minister Modi to open it to general public from Thursday. Doctors reveal billionaire tycoon Cyrus Mystery suffered fatal head injuries in the crash. Cops say not wearing seat belt in rear seat may have led to the former Tata chief's death. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar hits out at past governments for distancing India from Israel due to vote bank politics. Says Prime Minister Modi boosted ties with Tel Aviv, keeping India first.
हम लोगों ने अपने आप को रोक रखा था राजनीतिक कारण के। तो अभी एक बार आप वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स से आप निकल आए तो फॉरेन पॉलिसी पर भी असर और ये इजराइल।
Liz Truss defeats Rishi Sunak to become UK Prime Minister, third woman Prime Minister to hold UK's reins and take over Tory leadership. The BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party face-off is only but getting fiercer, viewers. The latest coming in, the BJP this morning released a sting operation. BJP upping the ante against the Kejriwal government in the Delhi liquor scam, stinging alleged liquor-gate accused Marwa's father, who allegedly admitted to paying bribes under the Delhi excise policy. BJP released the sting video claiming 25% commission was assured and said that blacklisted companies were given tenders by the Kejriwal government. BJP also alleged that Delhi Chief Minister used to get this scam black money converted into white. Manish Sisodia, however, right after this press conference by Sambit Patra, hit back at the BJP saying that their sting operation is nothing but a joke, that the CBI hasn't found anything on him yet, and he also dared the probe agency to arrest him.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी काफी दिन से चिल्ला रही है घपला हो गया, कभी 1300 करोड़, कभी 8000 करोड़, कभी 500 करोड़, कभी 144 करोड़, कभी 30 करोड़। फिर सीबीआई से इन्होंने एफआईआर कराई तो सीबीआई ने भी ढूंढ ढांड के दूर से कहीं से स्ट्रेच करके 2 कंपनियों के बीच की किसी वाइट डीलिंग को जबरदस्ती मेरे ऊपर थोपने की कोशिश की, वो भी सोर्सेज के हवाले से तो एफआईआर में लिखा। उसके बेस पे मेरे घर पे रेड डलवा दी, घर पे कुछ नहीं मिला। मेरे परिवार का लॉकर तलाश लिया बैंक का, उसमें कुछ नहीं मिला। अब जब सीबीआई से एक तरह से क्लीन चिट मिल गई कि जी इनके पास तो कुछ नहीं मिल रहा, तो अब बीजेपी कह रही है जी देखो सीबीआई नहीं ढूंढ पाई, अब हम स्टिंग करके देंगे।
एक बोतल पे जो कमाई होगी, पहले रिटेलर की कमाई जो होती थी, पहले जो ठेकेदारों की कमाई होती थी वो मात्र 2% होती थी। केजरीवाल जी की सरकार ने उसे बढ़ा करके 12% किया। क्यों किया? तो मारवा जी कहते हैं क्योंकि उसमें से हमें कमीशन केजरीवाल जी को देना था। हमें कमीशन जो है 6% का मनीष सिसोदिया को देना था, और परेशानी यह थी कि यह जो कमीशन है इसको हम ब्लैक में कैसे दें, इतनी मोटी रकम को हम ब्लैक में कैसे कन्वर्ट करें।
जितने सवाल, जितने प्रश्न हम करते थे उस सारे प्रश्नों का जवाब ये स्टिंग ने दे दिया है। ऐसे लोगों को अपने पद पे बने रहने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है, लेकिन हमारा मन ये भी कह रहा है कि सही मायने में दूध का दूध, शराब का शराब जारी है। चाहे जितनी भी कोशिश कर लो, जल्दी ही सिसोदिया और भ्रष्टाचारी गैंग के मुखिया अरविंद केजरीवाल की भी बारी है।
वो कोई सड़क पे चौराहे पे खड़े होकर किसी को गाड़ी पे बिठा के कुछ कहते हैं, उसके कोई सवाल जवाब करते हैं, वो स्टिंग है, मजाक है। तो ऐसे स्टिंग मेरे पास भी है, मैं भी दे दूंगा कल बहुत सारे, फिर आप उसको भी चलाना।
Moving on, viewers, it was a high politicking Monday for many of our political leaders. Well, political heavyweights left familiar home turf. going to other states hunting for political ground. Many would suggest the high-profile visit that made maximum news was Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, who began his 3-day visit to the national capital with the aim of uniting the opposition. After recently snapping ties with the BJP and aligning with the RJD, Nitish Kumar is in the power capital to take the first step in brokering power equations. He has meetings planned with Rahul Gandhi, Arvind Kejriwal and left parties. This visit comes shortly after Telangana Chief Minister KCR visited Bihar. Now, the other big political optics loaded with symbolism was Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's visit to Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and sharing the same stage as TN Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. The Tamil Nadu government inaugurated the Schools of Excellence and Model School scheme, which is broadly based on schools in Delhi with upgraded infrastructure. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal launched the scheme here along with M.K. Stalin. The optics of Stalin standing beside Kejriwal were not lost, with questions of new alliances before 2024 being raised. Meanwhile, let's get you the latest which we've got from Gujarat, where Rahul Gandhi kick-started the Congress Gujarat election campaign by addressing the Parivartan Sankalp rally. Rahul Gandhi made a host of electoral promises, from providing employment to free electricity, COVID deaths compensation to new schools, announcing many subsidies, and took many jibes at the BJP. While moving on to Mumbai, Amit Shah, the Home Minister, was in, or rather is in Mumbai, where he visited the Ganesha Pandal at the Lal Bagh Raja. However, the main reason for his visit is to meet with Chief Minister Eknath Shinde at his residence Varsha. It will be the first meeting between Shah and the chief of the rebel Shiv Sena faction since the fall of the Mahavikas Aghadi. This is seen as a visit to strategize before BMC elections.
हम लोगों की तरफ से तो आप जानते हैं कि जो कुछ भी है हम लोगों ने तो प्रारंभ से ही कहा है ना कि अब हम लोग अलग हैं। अब जो हम लोग साथ हैं वहां उसी तरह से अगर अधिक से अधिक सब विपक्ष के लोग अगर साथ हो जाएंगे तो एक बहुत अच्छा माहौल होगा। तो वो तो एक ऐसी बात है कि सब लोगों की इच्छा पर है, सब लोगों के मन पर है, और जिन लोगों से वैसे पार्टी के अन्य पार्टियों से बातचीत होगी तभी ना ये सब कोई बातचीत कर पाएंगे।
All right, viewers, out of the 4 visits that we counted, 2 are of special significance. One of Nitish Kumar in the national capital, possibly taking the first step forward to broker new power alliances for 2024. And the other of Arvind Kejriwal going all the way to Tamil Nadu, standing by Stalin. Is there an alliance in order there also where 2024 is in question? I want to cut across right now to my colleague Ashutosh, who's joining us from the national capital. Ashutosh, what is the buzz? Nitish Kumar has meetings planned with Rahul Gandhi, with Arvind Kejriwal, with left leaders. What's the update?
Well, then give me an update that meeting between Rahul Gandhi and Nitish Kumar just finished, which lasted for around 45 minutes, and right here at Tughlaq Lane, Rahul Gandhi's residence, Nitish Kumar just left. When he arrived at his home in Delhi, he said that he is not a contender, nor he is making any claim, not he wished to become a prime minister, but what is required at the moment is that all opposition parties must come together, there must be unity, there must be a common minimum program, and that will be only beneficial for almost all the parties. Accusing the BJP that look how they are trying to almost diminish the regional parties, and that's exactly why all these parties, be it the smaller or the larger opposition parties, must come together. Now here on the agenda is the Rahul Gandhi, the first meeting with Nitish Kumar, first meeting with Rahul Gandhi already took place. Tomorrow he's meeting Sitaram Yechuri, D. Raja, former Karnataka Chief Minister Kumaraswamy, and also Arvind Kejriwal. Now besides that, he's also in touch with Mamata Banerjee, Uddhav Thackeray. Now also he will make out effort to reach to Naveen Patnaik, and soon he's likely to visit Odisha. So all it's, you know, the kind of effort that we are seeing from Nitish Kumar. Earlier it was Mamata Banerjee who came Delhi, met all those leaders. Then we saw KCR coming, meeting all the leaders in Delhi, and then went all the way to Patna, and now Nitish Kumar. So as we know, there are, you know, multiple countries contender, there are those who wish to be in the race of Prime Minister. But for now, everyone, the one thing that we are hearing from them officially, that it is time to unite the opposition parties. But when there is a battle of ambitions, when there is a fight for the ambitions, largely the bigger question that always meant that who will unite them and again who will lead them. Whether X party will accept the leadership of Y party, whether the Y leader will accept the the leadership of X party. So those remains always, and that's exactly why these questions are often being asked. But tomorrow again on the agenda, he'll be meeting several leaders, including also he'll be meeting the president, vice president, and only what we are hearing from the Nitish Kumar, that the only way is to defeat BJP is that all the opposition parties must come together at this moment. Preeti.
So, appreciate you joining us for that quick update. So, a lot going on where Nitish Kumar's visit to the national capital is concerned. I want to cut across right now to Chennai. My colleague Pramod joins us. Pramod, the meeting between the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and the Chief Minister of Delhi, was it just purely limited to furthering Delhi's education policy in Tamil Nadu, or is there more than to what meets the eye?
Well, like you mentioned, the actual program was about inaugurating various events that pertain to education system here, more schools of excellence, model schools, and also Pudhumaipet. But however, there were certain nuances that we had to also see to, because the Chief Minister, while praising Arvind Kejriwal, Chief Minister, he said that MK Stalin said that he's a strong person and the entire nation is looking at Arvind Kejriwal. This is one word that was used by MK Stalin, and he also said that he had come to politics to serve the nation. These are the words that were used by MK Stalin at the event. And after that, the Chief Minister, he started speaking about Dravidian ideology once again, about how it was a strong ideology that was trying to give equality to women, especially about providing them with education and such. But these little words, small words that was used by the Chief Minister definitely has sparked a lot of questioning about if the Chief Minister is going with any kind of alliance with AAP. However, MK Stalin has also decided to join Rahul Gandhi in the upcoming Padayatra as well. So it looks like the Chief Minister, on one hand, is definitely keeping all the options open.
I appreciate you joining us, Pramod. We're going to continue to keep a keen eye on all developments or the possible fallout of that meeting which took place between Stalin and Mr. Kejriwal there. With that, I'm going to quickly shift focus to tragic news that came in yesterday, viewers, of the former chairman of Tata & Sons, Cyrus Mystery, dying in a car crash, raising many pertinent questions about road safety.
A head-on crash into a divider that left the car mangled. Look at the wreckage of the car in the Cyrus Mystery accident, and you'll notice that the vehicle at the back wasn't completely ruined. In fact, the body of the luxury SUV seems fine. And that's led to many questions over why the backseat passengers, including billionaire Cyrus Mystery, died, whereas the driver and the front passenger survived. Front seat occupant Darius and driver Anahita were caught dazed due to the impact. But luckily both survived the crash and their airbags opened in time, protecting and cushioning both from slamming their heads into the dashboard. But Cyrus Mystery and his friend Jahangir, who were in the back seat, were not that fortunate. The answer is simple, and it puts the focus on the most basic safety norm on the road: your seat belt. Cyrus Mystery didn't wear his seatbelt while seated in the back, something most of us admitted are guilty of.
If the person was wearing seatbelt, the two people who are sitting at the rear, they could have been saved with some serious injuries. In case of such events with the overspeeding, that the person will be thrown to the front seat of it, wherein the momentum can really severely impact the people sitting in the front as well. So the disaster could be much more severe.
Wearing a seatbelt in the back seat could have saved Cyrus Mystery's life. This simulation of a head-on crash shows you what happens to anyone seated in the back. It's a common misconception that the rear passenger has the seat in front to block him or her. But the reality is that in such a crash, the impact alone will kill you.
What is the most important factor for safety is the need for people, even in back seats, to wear seat belts. If they do not wear seat belts, having the safest of cars and the best of airbags as Mercedes has, there's no Mercedes does not do anything which is not absolutely top class, it still doesn't help.
The same crash with a seatbelt won't be fatal and could be the difference between life and death.
Now, wearing a seatbelt in the second row is something that we as passengers often overlook. But that doesn't mean that it is not mandatory just because the law is not enforced. At the time of collision, a passenger sitting on the second row can experience as much as 40 Gs. And that means for someone weighing about 80 kgs, they're exerting 3,200 kgs of force on that front seat. Now, that not only puts their own life at danger, but puts the life of the person sitting in front in danger as well. And that is why it's so crucial to always belt up even in the second row. This is Dipayan Datta, India Today Bureau Report.
The biggest takeaway, viewers, essential to wear seat belts even if you're in the rear passenger seat. With that, I want to shift focus to the festivities that are taking place in Mumbai. It's Ganpati Bappa Moria all the way in the city of Mumbai. Celebrations continue. Home Minister Amit Shah was there today. Home Minister Amit Shah visited Lal Bagh Cha Raja in Bandra West. Participating in the celebrations was also Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, Deputy CM Devendra Fadnavis. Meanwhile, Bollywood celebrities too have been drenched in Ganpati fervour. Ranbir Kapoor along with his mother Neetu were clicked performing a puja at Ganpati Visarjan. We'll quickly play those visuals out as well for our viewers of Ranbir Kapoor and Neetu Kapoor performing a Ganpati puja on Sunday. These visuals are of Sunday. Shetty celebrated despite a broken leg with her family. Shilpa was seen dancing while sitting in a wheelchair. Her sister and her two kids and husbands were also part of the festivities. Sonu Sood did the Ganpati Visarjan in Mumbai. He was spotted carrying a white Ganpati idol. The United Kingdom has a new Prime Minister, viewers, and it is not Rishi Sunak. Well, it's a new woman Prime Minister that the United Kingdom has got. Liz Truss has been named the leader of ruling Conservative Party. She's all set to succeed Boris Johnson. With this election, Truss becomes Conservative's fourth Prime Minister since 2015 election. The 47-year-old Liz Truss has been consistently ahead of her 42-year-old rival Rishi Sunak in polling amongst the Tory members eligible to vote. Conservative Party Chairman Andrew Stephenson thanked both candidates for taking part in the grueling schedule. Earlier, Boris Johnson was forced to announce his resignation in July after months of scandals, and he will be travelling to Scotland to meet Queen Elizabeth on Tuesday to officially tender in his resignation.
Our beliefs resonate with the British people. Our beliefs in freedom, in the ability to control your own life, in low taxes, in personal responsibility. And I know that's why people voted for us in such numbers in 2019. And as your party leader, I intend to deliver what we promised those voters right across our great country.
You're watching a fact-check segment where we bust claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp group. There's a claim floating about with the form of an edited video which seems to suggest that Rahul Gandhi at a rally used the term litre to measure flour. Well, he did use the word litre to measure flour, the fact check on it, but immediately corrected himself. The viral video is clipped and incomplete fake news. With that quick busting of fake news,